Right then, this is a very quick road test video, and this is for a Volvo V70, and it's the diesel sports version, registered WG06BXW, and as you can see here, 6-speed manual car. This car has covered a intergalactic mileage. It's 266,721 miles. That notwithstanding, we do videos on all the cars we take as part exchange which are sold from our premises, and the reason for it is very simple. It's so that if you're coming to see a car from any distance, you get to know about the car before you come to see us, and more importantly of any issues there may be. That is the whole point of doing it. The road test is also done on the same country roads any prospective buyer would go on, and the reason for that is we hope it would then be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, I mean, obviously this is a real rarity for us to have a car like this and to be selling a car like this. We sell Honda cars. The chap bought a Honda CR-V from us, keeps his cars a long time and looks after them very, very well indeed. But it doesn't alter the fact that it has covered the mileage it has, and it's very important to point out anyone that's looking at buying the car who's looking at this video understands that the reason we're selling it for spares or repairs is that there will be things that will be required that we don't know about, which aren't showing themselves whilst driving the car. So that is the basis on which it's sold, and we have to be clear about that. Having said that, getting into the car starts absolutely instantly. It settles to a really smooth idle. The engine pulls like a train and sounds actually very sweet in the process as well. Looking at the dashboard, there is one warning light showing on the dashboard. It says anti-skid service required. So if anyone knows what that means on a Volvo V70, feel free to let me know. It's not something we ever see on a Honda dashboard. It doesn't affect the drive of the car from what I can see. I'm not sure whether, if you press the button there at the end, it takes the light out, so whether it's a reminder, I don't honestly know. But as I said, the point of the video is to pick up on anything, no matter how minor it might be. But the engine in essence feels absolutely super. Really, really smooth. Clutch really good in the car as well. Very smooth, positive. Bite points really good in the car as well. And the gearbox, all the gears gauged with a lovely engagement. Very slick, precise. The gating's really nice. The movement of the gear lever is really good. It doesn't feel sloppy or worn in any way actually. The whole drive of the car actually feels very, very tight. And this is an era clearly of cars, and Volvo in particular, where they really did build them to last very, very high mileages. And it's a testament to them in all honesty, because it drives really, really nicely. Steering of the car again feels nice and positive on the road. It isn't a sports car, of course it isn't, but what it feels like the rack feels nice and tight. Steering feels, accurate and precise on the road. It doesn't feel kind of like some wandery, sort of wobbly, ancient car. It feels, as I said, really, really tight indeed. Track's really nice and straight, and I haven't experienced any wheel wobble at any speed I've come up to. But as I said, it feels very, very nice in hand. Suspension of the car, what I'm normally looking for on cars of this age is the obvious stuff. Really nasty, horrible clunks coming from underneath the car, of which there's nothing at all actually. When it goes over a bump like the one there, you hear it hitting the bump, you feel the bump, but you don't feel any nasty sort of knocking noises coming thereafter. They are big floaty old boats in all honesty. Whether the suspension's quite as firm as it used to be is probably not, but it doesn't feel wandery on the road. It feels, as I said, very tight indeed. Just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove when I get around the corner, make sure no one's stood behind me. Really nice brake pedal on the car, bites nicely, pulls up straight, and there's no vibrations or pulsing that I can feel at that speed anyway. Looking around inside whilst driving, I mean, it really is amazing in here. There are no rattles, no buzzers, no creaks, nothing at all. I mean, it really is an era of Volvo where they built these things so well. and this is absolutely beautifully put together. It really is. I'm just going to pull over here so I can turn around because I've got a tractor in front that's going to slow everything down. But yeah, it just feels really, really tight in here. Everything I've pressed thus far seems to have worked rather nicely. Air conditioning, hard to say. It may be pumping out slightly cooler air, but again, on this age, it's the least of your concerns, I'd imagine. But dashboard, all the readouts are good. Temperature gauge running at just under 1/2, which by all accounts is where it's meant to be. But you'd never believe, sat in the driver's seat, that it had done over 100,000 miles, let alone 266,000 miles. It is absolutely remarkable, which is why I've done the video as much as anything else, because it's said I love cars of this era, always have done, because it's said I don't think the modern stuff's put together quite as well as this. As I said at the start of the start of the video, the point is literally just to show the car in operation. It drives very, very nicely, but obviously doesn't alter the method and the basis on which the car is being sold, so please do bear that in mind.